Hello and good morning, it's me again, Freddy, and today we are going to start to animate our project. This is going to be a very long tutorial, I guess, but anyway, it's the most important one because it's about animation. So this is what we are going to do today. We are going to make out of our dummy animation make a nice looking final animation, and that's what it looks like. And before we're going to animate, we will build our scene, prepare it for animation, make our working stage, how I call it, because it's so much easier and it gives you just a better workflow for animation. And then we will start animating. However, before I will go into depth to animation, I will show you um, some key elements of animation and how to animate in Cinema 4D. Start with a cube. No, don't take a cube. Let's take a capsule, because everyone is taking a cube. We are taking a capsule. If we want to animate in Cinema 4D, we need to put keyframes, hit F9 or click here, and then go to your next frame and make another keyframe. Then go to your next frame, and you could enable auto key, which allows you to make a keyframe automatically whenever you are moving your object. You see? I moved it and I got my keyframe. So this here should be a bouncing capsule. It looks a little bit weird. So how could we make a nice bouncing capsule? Let's say we have 40 frames and we are starting here. So our capsule has to come down and jump up again. We have our keyframe. Our first and our last keyframe should be the same, and in the middle it has to be on the ground, so like this. But this, however, does not really look like a bouncing capsule. Why does it not look like a bouncing capsule? And well, it's because of the spline interpolation. If we go to window animation, we see our keyframes here, and if we click on space or just click on this icon, we can switch to the curve editor. Here we see our curves. In this case we have just two curves, and it are the position curves. We have the green curve, which is our Y position, and the position X and Z are just a straight line because we didn't do anything on them. So we will just concentrate on our Y axis. And what we have is a ball coming down and jumping up again. And to make this look a little bit better, it's kinda getting slower when it comes to the ground. But as you might know, it should become faster when it comes down, because you have gravity, and if an object is falling, it has to become faster. So how do we do this? If we select our middle key point, we could just grab this and make it down. Now we have a curve which is continuously going downwards, and now it looks already much better, but still not okay, because it should be a little bit more longer in the air. You know, when it's coming up, it will stay on this position for a short while, or at least almost stay on his upper position. So I will adjust the curves. Now it's going down slowly and then faster and faster going down. Then it immediately jumps up again, and it's getting slower while coming up again. And now it looks already a lot better. To show you some other elements of this animation editor, what you can do is you can, if you have other objects like the cube, I will just make a fast useless animation to him. So if we have these two objects here, we can just select our capsule, for example, and say view, hide unselected, because everything else, and when you do great animations you will have a lot of other stuff. So just concentrate on the object you are animating, hide everything else, and whenever you want it back, go to unhide all. And to edit your curves, each point is a keyframe. Again, space to switch between keyframe mode and curve mode. Alt and middle mouse button to pan array. Use Alt and right mouse button to zoom in and out and scale it as well. Let's say, for example, we have our curve here and we don't want that those points are connected to each other. What we can do is right click on it and say break tangents. Now we can move each point individually, and we could make it even stronger than before. Boom! So that looks a little bit cartoon style. That's what I am looking for if I make some animations. Okay, so then you have like these options to make ease in or ease out or ease, but keep in mind then that ease makes the animation slower again. So I will start with open our scene we've created in our last parts. Just imagine you would have your guy walking up the stairs and climbing in here. There's no way to animate because you cannot turn around with your camera, and it's just not good. So what you should normally do, and what we will do, is save your scene as simple as possible, so that you just have the objects in your scene you need for animation. And there are two options how you could do this. I will show you the first one. Just try to rebuild your scene with easy planes. I will start. Oh no, here's my plane, and put it to one segment because we don't need a lot of segments. And then, well, make it bigger. This has to be our floor. And let's look what's the correct. So 1000 for the floor, and let's make this to minus 750 and this to minus 1000. And now oh sorry, I should not move it. Now I'm going into mode modeling and go onto quantize, enable quantize 100 centimeters. That's good. Click P on your keyboard to make sure quantize is enabled. And now if we move our plane, it's moved by one block exactly. That's good so far. Now I'm going to duplicate my plane, and well, let's turn it around. Actually, let's try to rebuild this sand part here. So, and make the plane in, try to make it one block 100 and 100, and as we see it's not perfectly matched here. We have to make the C to 1250. Now it's perfectly matched, and we can even make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 8 blocks. So, almost perfect. Well, no, not perfect, but 700. That's fine. So that's good so far. And this is just one option of how you could, well, rebuild your scene to make it simple. The other option is to take the geometry you already have and just delete everything you don't need from it. Before I forget it, it's important to save this as a new file. I will save it as anim for scene animation. And now I can, well, play around in this file and destroy everything, and don't have to worry about, because I have the scene file saved and I won't mess it up. So, but we have to mess it up right here to make animation easier. So I'm going to select just what we need. So I selected this foots here, go into face mode, and now with my live selection tool I will select all the faces that I'm going to need for my animation. And I don't need more than those, I guess. Let's maybe take the inner faces here. That's good. Alright, maybe this. And that's all I need. So what I'm going to do now is go to select and hit invert. And now just delete everything. Good. And now I'm going into my world, look for my wooden planks. This is what we need. I will drag it out, and now I can delete the entire world because I don't need it. I don't need it for animation. I also don't need my physical sky for animation, my environment, and, well, don't really need this light for animation. This is all I need to animate. I prefer to delete the texture even, so that I really have just this simple scene and it's still everything there I need to animate. And yeah, that's what I mean when I say prepare your scene for animation. And you really should do this everywhere, and in each scene you want to animate. It's really important. That makes it so much easier, and if your computer is not very strong, you will see it goes so much, how do you say, well, it's just better to work. Then I usually make a group of all the objects. I just create it and call it geometry. And here we go. Now I'm ready for animating. Almost. So what I'm going to do, as I said before, is I will import my character one more time. Go to frame 0. And now I'm going to move my character. This is the character I want to animate. Move him exactly to the position where your dummy is. So for this I will turn off quantize again, hit P on your keyboard and turn it off. And here he is standing Perfect. That's what I want. A little bit up. Good. And then I'm going to... Actually, I don't need the materials of my old character. And I always use my cinema for the display tag and click on use and make it to wireframe, to lines. So now I only see the lines from the dummy animation model. Or what you also could do, you could go not to lines, but well, yes, to lines, and click on skeleton. Now you see even less than before. You just see this a few lines, and that's okay. I will take this for animation to make it a little bit easier and look better. I will create some lights. I will delete them once the animation is finished, but just to light up the scene a little bit. And here we go. Now we are ready to animate, and that's what we're going to do now. He walks right there, so let's animate him walk. Oh, I just made a mistake. I moved the camera, and that's bad. So I should have mentioned that before you start animating, well, you should always use a safety tag, protection tag. You can allow expressions, which means, well, for example, camera movements, but you don't want to move the camera as I just did. So keep that in mind. But now go and start animating. I have my visual selector. Let's see if this is the right one. No, it's not the right one. Select the other one. Yes, this is my visual selector. I actually could rename it and call him, okay, let's say Steve, even if this is not Steve. And now I select Steve and I'm ready to animate. If you're going to make good animations, it's a lot of practicing work, and while some people are good in animations and some maybe will never be. Well, maybe they will be if they train a lot, but you know, you can have talent or you cannot have, but you will never find out if you don't try. So just try to make the best out of this animation. And I will go forward and animate and tell you everything I do, and then I will, well, I don't want you to watch me animating for 2 hours, so I don't know how much time this will take, but I will make some cuts in the video so that you don't have to watch me all the time. Okay, enough talk, let's start. Let's actually start doing something. So first of all, go into auto key. I really recommend going into auto keyframe mode, because then you just have to move like his arm and it automatically creates a keyframe. So we are still at position 0, but that's okay, because we even need our first pose on position 0. I'm just going through the visual selector and selecting everything, and I'm trying to make a first pose where he starts to walk. Well, is he walking or running? If we look at this, it's actually well, he's almost running. He's walking pretty fast. So let's say he's running, or at least walking fast, which means that I have to rotate his body a little bit. If he's running, he will stay like this. And don't have my lights here, that's annoying. Let's create another light, just quick, and put it somewhere here. Okay, now he's not black and that looks better for me. So, his left knee is going forward, which means that, well, it means nothing. So then his right arm has to come forward and his left arm has to go backward. But not at this frame, but in the next pose. It will be completely backward and this one will be completely forward. So if I animate someone walking or running, I usually have 3 different poses, and that which means 3 keyframes. I will show you and then explain it better.
Lay it down. Let's play all night.
Let's play all night.
This town. Dig it up.
Dig it up.
Lay it down.
Lay it down.
Let's play all night. We built this town.
There's something deep down that calls from the underground, an urge in my heart for brick and stone. That tick, 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 it's my favorite sound. A world apart, it's on my own.
Let's play all night.
Dig it up,
Play all night.
lay it down, lay it down.
Lay it down.
We got a place we found.
Listen to the sound
Of a tribe
that you belong.
we don't need to find new friends. They've been here all along. Creeping, creepy creeper, I'm the #1 griefer. Blowing up on ya, I'm gonna respond ya. Better hide them kids, them wife. Best believe you're gonna lose your life. I go dark and go deep. Gonna blast your sheep. Thought you had some sheep.
Alright, so as I promised, I wanted to show you, here we go, I wanted to show you my 3 poses of walk animation. So as you can see, in the part where he's walking, we have a quite regular amount of keyframes, so like each 6 frames, and these are all my poses. So I need 3 poses. Let's say he starts walking here. We have 1 pose, 2nd pose, and the 3rd pose. These are the 3 poses that I use when I'm animating. Next one would be, okay, now he's stopping, but next one would be same as here again. So maybe start here. 1st pose, 2nd pose, and 3rd pose, and then again this and this. So that was what I meant with 3 main poses. It's the same in walking animations as in running animations. The only difference is if he's walking he would make smaller steps, and when he's running he makes of course bigger steps and jumps more. If he would be walking, this wave line wouldn't be that high. But you will have to find out, and I really recommend to film yourself walking and try to reanimate it frame by frame. So pose by pose, concentrate on these 3 poses and try to animate what you have filmed from yourself walking. And as you see, I'm always kinda orientating my animations to the skeleton of my dummy animation, or mock-up, or pre-riz, however you want to call it. Yes, it's really useful.
Ain't got no sheep no more.
Build it and destroy it. There's something deep down that calls from the underground, an urge in my heart for brick and stone. That tick, tick, tick is my favorite.
And when he wants to stop running, he will probably rotate his body back. Then I will rotate his shoulder a little bit forward, and with his right arm. Okay, now I animate it until frame 60 approximately. Going to hit save again, and I am in my stage object. And because I'm not sure if this is in real time, and anyway, I want to make a preview, so I will make a preview. Go on make preview, type in manual from 0 to 60, file size is okay, and well, you could even choose your format and stuff, but whatever. I have a moth H264. Hit OK, and it's calculating your preview. So it's finished already, and now we can see the animation in real time. And well, yes, it's not the best one, but I guess it looks okay. So let's leave it as it is and go on animating.
A world apart, it's all my own. Dig it up, dig it up,
Dig it up.
lay it down, lay it down.
Lay it down.
Let's play all night.
We built this town.
Hey, hey, hey. Come on, boys, let's play on top. We can move and let the sun in. What's that you got? I love it, don't stop. 'Cause diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Donde existe ella? Yeah. As if in multiplayer,
Ooh, yeah.
your feet's in the air. Alright.
Put your fists up in the air.
You'll find me hanging out where it's dimly lit. False shoes on my feet and my grill's legit. I'll last and blast you until your rage quit. So come a little closer, this won't hurt a bit. That's what I do when I get
So if you're going to animate, or you really have to find out yourself how to make it look good. You could just watch videos or film yourself and then try to animate what you did frame for frame, so or keyframe for keyframe at least. That would be one possibility. Or just go and watch movies. Go and watch a lot of especially Disney movies. I like them a lot. And try to look at the animations they do and try to learn from it. I love the Disney animations, and when I animate, I always try to animate a little bit in Disney style. Might be a little bit too fast. However, I will show you the animation editor. Go turn or well, however. Let's go into animation window. You will have it here if you have 14, or maybe here if you have 12. I don't know in 13. Go to animation layout, and what you can do here is you have a lot more control about your animations, but however I don't really like to use this because I need my window as big as possible, and the animation view takes a lot of away of your window. But you can, if you hit the space, you will switch to the curve editor. Okay, that looks confusing right now. That's why you have to, well, select just what you need. So this is our Steve character. This is him, and you can, if you go here, you can select like just his head. These are all the keyframes for his head. These are all the keyframes for his right hand, and so on and so on. And yeah, but I'm going to keyframe mode for now, and I'm going to hide this stage and the dummy animation. Don't need them here. So go to View, Hide, and select Hide selected elements. Now we only have our Steve animation here, and that's much better. So in the summary line you see a keyframe wherever you have a keyframe. So I have one keyframe here, and that's why I have one keyframe here. Same with Steve. This is the summary line for your Steve, and that would be summary line of all keyframes together. So we are first of all only interested in those keyframes because these are the actual keyframes. Forget them above, just these are your keyframes. Good. And I said it's a little bit too fast when he jumps up, so what I could do is, and I will do, is just minimize it and look where are the keyframes where he's jumping up and which part is too fast. Oh, the standing up part is too fast. Wait a second, I get a call. I'm sorry, it was my mama. However, so I just don't like the part where he's standing up, so, and where he's climbing up the last part. It's a little bit too fast. So let's take the keyframes from here and just scale them up, and now it's already much slower, but a little bit too slow, so I will make it one frame faster, and I think the part where he stands up could be a little bit slower, but the part where he climbs up shouldn't be that slow, so I will move these keyframes one frame forward, and let's see what it looks like now. Oh, that looks good. That looks good to me. And it, yeah, nice. Nice. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, guess what, is making a new preview. And this time it's from frame 0 to 100. So you see we are doing quite fast. And I will make the size to 800 so that I can see a little bit more frame rate. Wow. No, not 30, 25. So, okay. Hit save again, and let's look what the preview looks like. Hit H to size it to your window size, however, and let's look at the preview. Okay, so we see him kind of walking to his place and climbing up. I like the climbing up part, it looks really good, better than the walking part. And how is he going to get into this little part here? I don't, let's let him just jump up, because he has strong legs, he will just jump up. Okay, so let's do this.
Lay it down, lay it down. Let's play all night. We built this town. There's something deep down that calls from the underground and urging my heart for brick and stone. That tick, 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 it's my favorite sound. A world apart, it's all my own. Let's play all night. Dig it up, play all night. Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down.
We got a place we found.
Listen to the sound of a tribe that you belong.
We don't need to find new friends. They've been here all along.
Creepy, creepy, creeper, I'm the #1 griefer. Blowing up on ya, I'm gonna respawn ya. Better hide them kids, them wife. Best believe you're gonna lose your life. I go dark and go deep. Gonna blast your sheep. Thought you had some sheep. Ain't got no sheep no more. Build it and destroy it. There's something deep, deep down that calls from the underground and urge in my heart for brick and stone. That tick, tick, tick is my favorite sound. A world apart, it's all my own. Dig it up, dig it up, dig it up. Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down. Let's play all night. We built this town.
Hey, hey, hey. Come on, boys, let's play on top. We can move and let the sun in. What's that you got? I love it, don't stop. 'Cause diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Throw them pics in the air. Yeah. As if in multiplayer.
Ooh, yeah.
Some pics in the air. All right.
Put your best
Now jump up. Whoop. You are the man. Let's say he's trying to push himself up.
As if in multiplayer.
Ooh, yeah.
Some pics in the air. All right.
Put your best up in the air.
You'll find me hanging out where it's dimly lit. False shoes on my feet and my grill's legit. I'll last and blast you until your rage quit. So come a little closer, this won't hurt a bit. That's what I do when I get too close to you.
That's
when I
what
get too close to you. When I get too close to you.
I go boom, boom, boom when I get too close to you. Deep, deep down, underground.
And urging my heart.
In my heart.
Brick and stone, that tick, tick, tick is my favorite sound. A world
World of heart.
it's all
It's
my
on
own.
my own.
Dig it up,
Dig it up, dig it up.
lay it down,
Lay it
let's play all
down.
night.
Yeah.
We built this town.
And this is our finished animation. I hope you did learn something from it. And however, in editing I could manage it to make the tutorial at least not that long, I guess. So I hope you liked it and see you next time.